This is our Excel spreadsheet containing 3 worksheets. The first worksheet contains the artist information. The second worksheet contains the album information. And the third worksheet contains the track information. If we go back to the album information, you'll see here on the third column, the album cover, it has a link containing the album pictures. And all I did was I went to Amazon, right-clicked the album picture and selected copy image link. Went back to the spreadsheet and pasted it in this column. So we're going to take this information from these 3 spreadsheets or 3 worksheets and import it into Power BI. So here we have our blank Power BI report, and we want to import that information from our Excel spreadsheet into Power BI. So I'm going to go to Transform Data. I'm going to click on New Source, Excel Workbook. Click under Jukebox. Select the 3 worksheets. So we've imported those 3 worksheets into Power Query. The only data transformation that we need to make is we need to create a query for our genre. So the genres are in the album query. So I'm going to select the album query, right click it, choose reference, change this to genre. Select choose columns, and just select the genre column. And we're going to right click the genre column and choose remove duplicates. So now we have unique entries for the genre. And that's all I need to do for Power Query. So I can hit close and apply, and that's going to send the data into our data model. And then all we have to do is press the data model button, and that will send us here. Here we are in the data model view, and we need to create the relationships between these 3 tables. The first relationship is going to be between the artist table and the album table. So I'm going to select the artist field and artist table and join it with the artist field and the album table, and that's going to create a one-to-many relationship between the 2 tables. The second relationship I'm going to create is between the genre table and the album table. So I'm going to select the genre field from the genre table and connect it to the genre field and the album table, and create a one-to-many relationship between those 2 tables. The last relationship I'm going to create is between the album table and the track table. So I'm going to select the album field from the album table and connect it to the album field in the track table, and that's going to create another one-to-many relationship. So these are all of the relationships that we need to create our jukebox. Now that we have our data model set up, we can go back to the report view. So in the report view, the first thing I want to do is change the background color of the canvas. So go to page background. You can see here we have our 4 tables. I want to create a slicer for our artist, so I'm going to click on Slicer and go into Artist table. Next, I want a table. Select the table for our tracks. Put it right here. Then I want a slicer for the album covers. Let's change this. Oh, we have list. That's good. Let's go to under general, change it to horizontal. You can see we don't have our pictures displayed. So what we need to do is we need to go to the data view in the album table, select album cover, and in the data category, change this to image URL. Now we have our albums displayed. Need to go to filter, uncheck that blank. There we go. So we have our albums displayed, and we can filter on the album covers by selecting the artist. So we have Boyz II Men, Jay-Z, Mint Condition, and so on. You notice we have tracks underneath that correspond to the artist. So in our table, in our Excel spreadsheet, we didn't have any tracks for this album. The tracks for the album for Chris Brown were on this album right here. Next we need is a filter for our genre. So what I'm going to use is, instead of using a regular slicer, I'm going to use a tree map. I'm going to put a genre in here. I need to create a measure. So before I do that, I'm going to go to Enter Data, create a virtual table called DAX Measures. So you have a virtual table. I'm going to select it. I'm going to click on New Measure. I'm going to say tree map visual equals 1. Tree map visual equals 1. We need to move this measure so it's in here. So we need to go to the model view. Move it in the DAX measures. We can remove this column. So I'm going to select the genre, tree map, and put a measure in the values area. Go to data colors. Let's make them all the same color. Put this in between the album cover and the tracks. I need to remove the title and get rid of that blank. Right here. Okay, got rid of that blank. Collapse this. Let's go to R&B. Should filter. Filters the track. It's not filtering the album cover. Now we can change the background and style this jukebox. So I'm selecting the slicer here. I can go here, change this to black, change the items. Let's give it a green. Let's do the same thing here for the album cover. I'm going to take off the slicer header, background, let's see if we use the format painter, what happens here. So we got the table selected. Let's change that back. Make sure this works. We could scroll. I want to create one more measure. So go to DAX Measures, new measure. And this is going to display our album cover above the album cover area. So just display the album cover name. So there it is, selected album. So I need a card visual. So we go to Billy Joel, displays the album cover that was selected. I'm gonna just change the font. Say 25, so it's smaller. Turn the category off. Let's try 20. You can of course change the background color of this card. Looks pretty good, huh? Get rid of this blank